A third court storming inside Pinnacle Bank Arena, but this time it's the Husker women pulling off the upset as they take down number 2 Iowa 82-79. It's February, and usually at this time in Nebraska there's snow on the ground, but today there's sand out here. On Saturday, the Huskers battled it out in a red versus white scrimmage, and all eyes were on 5-star quarterback Dylan Raiola. How do you think those relationships will help build your success off of last season? Like you mentioned, you didn't go to state and make it to the first round, but how do you think you can build off of that success and make it further in the state tournament this year?
Just building those bonds that that are on the floor, but also off the floor.
The Huskers dominated the entire meet, securing 6 top 10 wins en route to a 25-7 win over number 9 Michigan. Gretna East makes history this afternoon in Lincoln. They take down Waverly 51-37 for their first ever win in state tournament history in their first year as a school. They're going to have to shut down the stellar black shirt defense that has been performing lights out all season long. There are just 2 weeks left in the Pro Volleyball Federation's regular season, and the Omaha Supernovas have had quite an impressive year so far. What have you been doing this off season to kind of help prepare you for that tough schedule that you guys have to face?
Well, this off season actually I had surgery.
As Nebraska and Penn State get set for Game 2 of a 3-game series. Yesterday's game was an all-out pitcher's duel. It was an action-packed weekend for Husker sports. Men's basketball took on Penn State at Pinnacle Bank Arena, looking for a nation-leading 16th win at home. Would you kind of talk about your goals for the upcoming season?
Well, our number one goal is for our kids just to have a good experience.
Nebraska volleyball remains red hot, still undefeated at 25-0. The Huskers are in clear control to take home their first Big Ten title since 2017. This past year has been exceptional for Husker women's sports, and the support from fans has been huge to their success. To celebrate National Girls and Women in Sports Day, Nebraska student athletes had the chance to give back. The event recognized the growth women's sports has seen and gave aspiring future Huskers the opportunity to meet and interact with their role models.
I remind them that you got to start somewhere, and that at one time in my life I was in their shoes, just had really big dreams.
Basketball standout Alexis Markowski says being a woman in sports has made a huge impact on her life.
I've had so many different experiences to make me into the person I am today, and I try to use my platform to inspire the next generation of athletes and young people.
Let's go! One young girl was inspired by Markowski's teammate, Jazz Shelley.
Because she is the best at
Head gymnastics coach Heather Brink says Volleyball Day in Nebraska helped the world see what women's sports can be.
I think was pretty empowering, and I think when we start passing that empowerment down to the younger generations, to me that's what legacy is about.
It inspires a bunch of people to play volleyball.
Reporting for Nebraska Nightly, I'm Sarah Pearson. Growing up, Garrett and Lauren Englam were always competing with one another, and that drive has led them to representing the Huskers. Garrett on the baseball diamond and Lauren on the soccer pitch. The siblings share a connection that goes back to their early days in youth sports.
So we were just the classic siblings. Growing up, we definitely get into arguments and have been always super competitive with each other.
As the two have gotten older, that competitive edge has pushed both Garrett and Lauren to become better athletes.
That competitive edge where it's oh, I gotta be better, so I'm the best athlete in the family per se. More as a joke, but it kind of does push you a little bit to want to be better at your sport.
Sports have always been a part of the Englam family, and Greg and Brenda Englam have seen the impact their children have made.
To see after the games, when you see your child's, they're coming up to them and they're asking them for their autograph or sign the soccer ball or sign the baseball.
Well, it definitely brings a tear to your eye. Just my nephew is one of them. He puts on his little boots and he has a bat. He's 2 and he's Garrett Englam. He runs around the yard. He's Garrett,
I have another set of niece and nephew, and they want the soccer ball.
Being from Nebraska, it was always a dream for Garrett and Lauren to become Huskers, and playing so close to home means a lot to them.
It's cool to like grow up watching something and then finally like being a part of it, and then also while being still so close to our family and having everybody that like we grew up with able to kind of watch us since it's so close. So it's a great experience.
So, I mean, just having the opportunity for our parents and grandparents and all of our family to be able to come to the games, it truly is an honor, and I'm very blessed to have that.
From their competitive nature growing up to the bond they strengthened through their time at Nebraska, the Angleums will always have a special connection that goes well beyond the playing surface. Reporting for Nebraska Nightly, I'm Sarah Pearson.